Dr. Latifa Akherbach, thank you so much for joining us on AnewZ. You've held many senior positions in government, always with a view to looking at the media industry, how it can be developed, improved, not just in your own country of Morocco, but also in many other places around the world. I would like to get your analysis of the role of AI. Where are we currently? What are the opportunities and risks for the near future?
First of all, I would like to say salam to everyone in this friendly country that is Azerbaijan. Yes, your question is very important. We do consider in Morocco as autonomous regulatory body, HACA, the High Authority of Audiovisual Communication of Morocco. We do consider that artificial intelligence is a tool, and it's also a technology that has a very high potential of transforming the media ecosystems, and as a tool, the question is how to use it in the benefit of the general interest of society. You know, the HACA, as a regulatory body in Morocco, has a very clear mandate based on the principle of always acting in preserving the balance between the freedom of media actors and the rights of users to an information of quality, of trust. The information is a common good, and we have to preserve it to have good democratic functioning of our societies. So AI is a very important evolution of the digital the technology. I think it brings, and it will bring more and more good opportunities for in newsrooms and in the mediatic public sphere in general, but we have to be aware that this technology has also is disruptive and introduces and will introduce more and more in our media ecosystem some informational risk. So the good posture to have before this technology is not to be in the fascination. It is not a magical technology, it's just a technology, and not to be in technophobia. It's not the axis of bad, it's just a tool. We have to use it. How to use it in the benefit of the this common good that is information. First, we have to set up legal frames for using this technology, and our position in Morocco is that we have to set up a liberal legal and regulatory frame, not to affect the innovation. It's really important to preserve the innovation, but it is also important to have ethics, to have good practices. You know, the idealistic situation would have been to have what it is called ethics by design, but it is not the case. And now we have to deal with major and global actors that are big techs, and we have to let them do their business, but also to raise the awareness and to push them to be responsible for, and within the global market they are acting in. That's why I think regulation, it's a good démarche to have. It's a good process, and it's a good policy. I think that the world is would be a better place with more regulation, not than less regulation, at the condition to be always for freedom of expression, freedom for innovation, and also to be aware that the society has to be preserved, because it is not normal. For example, if I would like to give you an example, now the artificial intelligence used by this platform of social media is very used in the field of information, and for example, through the algorithmic functioning, we have the public discourse being regulated by private interests that are big techs. It is not normal, it's a risk. That's why regulation is the good answer.
It's very interesting to hear you talk about the need for that balance. As you say, neither fascination nor technophobia, but that sensible space in between. In your role as president of Hacker, what have you noticed about the ecosystem in Morocco that possibly could give lessons to other parts of the world, other parts of the global media infrastructure?
I do think that nobody could give lessons to others in this field, because we are all small or big countries, very developed countries or emerging countries. We are all evolving in a new reality where the pace of the technological change is very high. We are all being a little bit stressed by the obligation we have to catch up with this race, and that's why we have to be in an international consultation before this big tech, not to create problem for their business model or for their right to innovate, but only to be sure that technology will not be the master of the world. We need absolutely to preserve the humanity against some systemic risks introduced by the artificial intelligence. I will give you one example in the media field, which is in my mandate. For example, it is important to consider media literacy as citizen right, in order to allow the citizens to face, of course, the risk, to have critical thinking, to preserve the right to an information of trust, but also we have to equip citizens with the skills needed to be active and creative within this new digital public sphere. So regulation is not about to impeach, it's about to promote an enlightened citizenship. And this, it's new in our duties, and we have really to work at it as international community. Within our international regulators community, we are trying, we collaborate with the UNESCO, for example, to set up guidelines for regulating digital platforms. In Morocco, we are very committed to this idea of information as common good, but also we are committed to set up a world consultation, because the risks are global. If we want, as an international community, to fight against disinformation, hate speech, radicalization speech, dangers and risk for privacy, for human rights, for human dignity, for stigmatization, gender stigmatization, and all, we need to compel this digital platform of social media to respect a minimum of human rights, for example, and to have enough human resources, and not only chatbots and intelligence artificial tools to moderate contents. We do believe that if you give, and this is what is happening in many platforms, they put more artificial intelligence for moderating contents than humans for that, because human resources cost more, and we are not okay with that, because we need to keep human discernment in the buckle.
You mentioned social media there and the need for regulation and also education. When you look at social media, it can, I think, be difficult for young people, can't it, to move out of these very polarized and at times poisonous debates. Do you think we need to educate younger people to learn how to argue in a healthy way, to learn how to disagree with each other without it descending into something far more extreme?
Sure, but we need more than that. We need, for example, to consider that this education to information and to media and to digital is part of the normal curricula. It's not something we have to learn on Sundays or during vacation. It's part of the normal education we have to provide with the young people, because young people, it's Z generation, Alpha generation, they will always evolve in a digital environment. They are not digital migrants like my generation. They are born in their normal life. That's why I'm talking about e-citizenship, and the purpose of our mandate, of our action as regulators, is also to accompany the public policies in our countries to give the citizens all what they need as skills, as critical thinking, also access to technology knowledge, to be sure to be able to experience any citizenship that is creative, that is active. You know, social media brought also many positive opportunities. They prolonged the access to information, to prolong and to enlarge the freedom of expression. And this is good. We don't have really to limit that. We have to promote it. But at the same moment, because of this algorithmic functioning of the platforms, we have people that are enjailed, if I may use this word, in chamber echoes by artificial intelligence, and they will meet in these bubbles only people who are the same opinions. So in these conditions, the freedom of opinion is at stake, and young people, if they are not taught to look for different sources, to look to interact with different opinions, they will absolutely deprived of their will and freedom of opinion, and they will be prisoners of bubbles. This is how radicalization online functions. So what is at stake is to give the citizens from the beginning of their life the critical thinking and also the taste of information. That's why channels like yours are very important. I think one of the challenges now is, after all these years of social media, is to interest young people to information, not to infotainment. We have to be sure that people make the difference between entertainment, information, between journalism and influence, between information and misinformation. So all these are really of general interest and of strategic importance.
And you'd said that quite rightly that every country, every geographic region has got its own distinct challenges and strategies. One of the reasons that we're privileged to have you here in the studio today is that you and your delegation have been visiting Azerbaijan. You're here in Baku. What have you noticed about perhaps the common challenges that both Morocco and this part of the world are trying to solve, and what work is being done together to achieve success in those areas?
You know, one of the disruptive changes introduced by the digital technology in our world is about how the world became a global village. The digital technology make distances getting less and less important. So it is good because it's a new sociability that is set up. We have, thanks to this social media, the opportunities to create communities and to be in touch with people, to be in interaction. This is the good face of, but at the same moment, it is not normal that algorithm and intelligence artificial are the master of this community organization. We don't choose really our community in the virtual world. We are conducted very discreetly, but very surely, to communities that are built and organized by algorithm. So this is the risk. Now, you know that there is a global awareness now that we have to act together to go beyond just limiting some uses in digital platform. We have to set up a new world governance. For global actors, we need world governance, and this governance should be built always on the principle of freedom of expression, freedom of economy, of digital economy, non-fragmentation of the market, digital market. So this is important. To achieve this goal, we have to interact together, and I feel that here in Azerbaijan and in many other countries, we made the same analysis. Digital technology in media, it's a source of very good opportunities. We are here in very modern newsroom. You are using artificial intelligence. It's good. Elsewhere also it's used. For example, the intelligence artificial allows journalists to not to be focused on routine task and to be more on investigation on the ground. This is good, but it is not good to use without critical thinking, without vigilance, this intelligence artificial in newsroom, for example, videos without being sure that it's not deep fake. And there is one principle that is very important for us as regulators when it comes to address issues about how to use artificial intelligence within the newsroom. This is one principle. It's really important to give the user the information about what was done by human, what was generated by intelligence artificial. I do believe that journalists has to remain in this bucket.
Well, that's a very powerful message to end on. Thank you so much for coming here to AnewZ, and all our very best wishes back to Morocco go with you.
Thank you for your interest. Thank you.